again. By now you've read about the communication process, and I enjoyed reading your posts on the discussion board. But today we're going to start looking at the functions of mass communication, because I think that we're going to all agree on one fact. Mass communications, whether it's machine-assisted mass communications, which you see all the time on your Facebook feeds, on your Instagram accounts, through Twitter, or it's a television show, a movie, or a song, has an effect on our lives in so many, many different ways. We look at the functions of mass communications from both a macro version and a micro version. In the macro version of the functions of mass communication, we look at the communications process as the media intended us to use it. In the micro function, it's how we use the media. Sometimes the two overlap, but not always. I have an easy way for students to remember the 5 functions when we look at it from a macro analysis viewpoint, and I call that style. Not style in the FIT sense, but S-T-I-L-E. We look at the media in terms of its surveillance function. And there are 2 types of surveillance function, instrumental and beware. The beware function is when the media warns us about something. Maybe it's weather, maybe it's an earthquake, but it's something that might threaten us. Okay? Instrumental surveillance is when we learn something from the media. So it could be as simple as the evening news, or it could be a Rachel Ray cooking show. Transmission of values. I hate to tell you this, but the media is in large part responsible for who you are. What media you choose to engage in has a tremendous effect on transmission of values. And it's been doing that since television was invented. Think about the TV programs that you've watched. It tells you what the perfect family is. What happens when your family doesn't look like that? Does you feel left out? I always like to use this particular story of when I was a little girl. There was a show called Romper Room. And Romper Room's host was Miss Linda. And at the end of Romper Room, Miss Linda had a mirror. It wasn't really a mirror. It was a cheesy little prop. And she used to wave that mirror and see all the boys and girls out in the audience. Now, Roberta is not a popular name now, and it wasn't a popular name in the 50s either. And I would sit in front of my television waving at the TV going, "I'm here, Miss Linda. How come you never see me?" So I want you to think about the media when you watch it. Who does it include? Who does it leave out? That's a tremendous part of transmission of values. I also want you to start thinking about the media that you engage in. If you're on one side of the political spectrum, open up your eyes and listen to the other side. You may not like what you hear, but you have to hear both sides. Interpretation. Interpretation is a function of the media. And what that means is the media interprets what we get to hear. By the end of this semester, I hope, if I do nothing else, to make you a real media critic. Don't believe everything you read. Don't believe everything that you hear. To give an example of the interpretation function of the media, after every presidential debate, talking heads come on afterwards to tell us what we heard. If you watched the debate, you heard with your own ears what the candidates said. But the interpretation is the spin at the end. Linkage. Linkage is a function of mass communication, and you've been linked probably since you were a pre-adolescent with your smartphone in your hand. Linkage brings 2 parties together who are not in the same geographic location and enables them to communicate. One traditional form of linkage, even before there was social media, is advertising. An ad links the seller with the buyer. But today, we're linked all over the world, and we are, as we say, LinkedIn. And finally, entertainment. The media provides a source of entertainment. Sometimes it's just good to kick your feet back and have some fun.